One through that membrane there, out the other side, and out. We're going to grab the trout by the jaw, and we're just going to pull this down, and everything comes out. And we're going to dispose of that properly. Notice they're hot. There is one.
Welcome to the KastKing Kitchen. I'm Sandi Roberts, and today we're doing an episode we call Catch to Kitchen. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna try to catch a fish, and then we're gonna bring it home and we're gonna prepare it into a really nice meal. So today we are at Antero Reservoir in Colorado, located in the high mountains, and we're gonna be trying to go for some nice trout and bring them home and make them into a nice meal. Now, what we're gonna do is we've got a dry fly, and then we've connected a nymph below the dry fly. So that's gonna give us two chances to catch some of these fish that have just started to come up. One might get it from the top, one might wanna go down a little. So let me get some line out here, and we'll see if maybe we can, it never fails. I get the dry fly out, and all of a sudden the fish stop coming up. So we'll see what happens. Hi, while filming Catch to Kitchen today, we caught several really nice brown trout. Now, as a rule, we really don't like to keep the brown trout, but we are at a lake where you can keep the fish and bring them home and cook them. And the idea of this show was we were going to catch all these nice fish and prepare them into a nice meal. Today, a very nice brown trout, several of these caught. We're gonna let him swim away. We're going to release him to safety. Well, we've caught the fish, and now it's time to clean them. We've set up a very simple cleaning station here. We have our cutting board, we have our water that we're going to be using, and the trash bag to put the remains in. And Clay will be talking to you about that in a little while. So we're ready to get them all cleaned.
Okay, we got a little mess of rainbow trout that we caught today. This isn't a put and take lake. These fish are meant to be caught and taken home. So these are all actually hatchery trout. You can tell that little fin right there has been clipped. Okay, so I see a lot of people try to clean trout, and they're trying to fillet a nice little trout like this, and it just ends up being a mess. I learned this as a kid. Stick with us throughout the video, and you'll see how it works actually on the plate. So our first cut goes from the vent basically to the chin right here. Of course, you want to have a sharp knife and be careful that you don't cut yourself. Get that finger out of the way. There's the first cut. The second cut is basically, which I guess you'd call the trout's tongue. One through that membrane there, out the other side, and out. We're going to grab the trout by the jaw, and we're just going to pull this down, and everything comes out. And we're going to dispose of that properly in a bag that we have here. So all that's left is a bloodline. We got our water, and we're just going to run our finger down that bloodline right on the spine. Just wash him out real quick. Anything that's left. And a lot of this, you'll do this in the kitchen sink when you're done, but this is a field dress. There he is. And on ice he goes. So we're back at the KastKing Kitchen. Here's our next step in the prep. Just got back from the lake. We're going to rinse the fish off. Trout, you see how shiny they are? We have to descale. Here's how we descale. A not real sharp knife, but not a butter knife. But just something you can scrape with, and we're going to scrape from the tail to the head. And you can see the fish start to get dull. Running water, you want some running water, wash the scales off. So see the difference? That's what you want. You go through the whole fish that way. It doesn't take long. Just scrape him. You see the scales coming off. That's pretty much one side. You're not going to eat this, but it's just better to do. Here we go again. Whoop. We're going to do this to all the fish, so I'm just got my finger inside the cavity, kind of to give support, so that I can just gonna scrape. That's pretty much. Anything you see shiny, you just scrape it off, wash it off. And that is a descaled trout, basically, that is ready for the frying pan if you did want to cook it this way. But we have some more preparation steps for what we're going to do. Rinse it all off. We put it in an ice bath, a little bit of salt water for a little while. Just till you're ready to freeze it or cook it. You could do overnight as long as you don't have too much salt.
Now we've brought the fish home, we went fishing, we caught all the fish, we brought them home, you cleaned them, and now we're gonna make them into fish tacos. So Clay, what's our first step? What are we gonna do?
So here's our trout right here, pan size.
Yeah, that wasn't all of them, we had a couple more.
Pan size is the right size, as you might say. Okay. Any size would be good, but pan size works the best.
Okay.
We're gonna get them cooked up here. This is kind of a two-part sort of a deal. If you wanted to eat these trout by themselves, you could do it this way. This is how I like to do it. But we're going to use this way to prepare the fish for our fish tacos.
Okay, excellent.
We're going to season up the cornmeal here just a little bit of pepper and salt. Like that. Not needed, but it's pretty good. As you see, for the fish tacos, we won't really even be actually using this or eating this. It's just kind of a way to keep the fish away from the pan. We're gonna coat our Rocky Mountain High rainbow trout with cornmeal. We're gonna get them on the skillet. First, let's check the, here's how you can check the skillet temperature. I already have it on. Just a couple drops of water, and you can see the little drops of water dancing in the bottom of the pan. That's perfect. We're going to add some no stick here. And the idea here is, main thing is you want a hot pan, hot oil for the trout. So here we go. We're going to just dip these real quick, just get them all covered, and roll them in the cornmeal. Season the cornmeal. You can take this off. We're going to cook these for about 7 minutes. And we are going to cook them all the way through on one side. That is why we are going to have a lid. So we're going to put the lid on. So they are basically going to cook the trout on the pan, in the pan, for about 7.5 minutes. We flipped them, probably cooked them for about another 5. We're gonna test for doneness. Got a toothpick. We're just gonna press the toothpick into the fish. It is very forgiving, soft. They are done. I'm going to turn the heat off. We are going to quickly and gently just move them over here to a paper towel, just to drain and cool just a bit. And these are ready to eat. I mean, these are ready to serve if you chose to, and I'll show you how we can basically debone these fish very easily and quickly, not have to mess with filleting in the field like a lot of people do. Now we're going to get ready to remove the fillets from the bone. This is kind of how it goes. Again, fully cooked trout. There's that here. Notice they're hot. There's one. And there's two. There you be. Totally boneless. We can remove the fins. Let's just get one over here. You probably want to have a little bit more room. Now, we're just going to flip them over, and the skin we're going to remove for our fish tacos. And it will just peel right up like that. And more. Meat just falling off. Gently pull it away with the fork. Let's see what we got. Nothing like fresh, cold water, Rocky Mountain trout. That is delish.
We're going to be making Sandi's salsa and Sandi's guacamole. This is really easy to make. We're gonna start with the salsa. So what we're gonna do, we have about a cup of tomato. I'm gonna put in about a half of a medium onion. Next, we have 2 jalapeno peppers and 1 Santa Fe green chili, and we're gonna put that in here. What I'm using basically is a food processor. So we're gonna put it in here. And we're doing this live, so hopefully you don't have any problems. I don't want to chop it up too much. Okay, that was pretty easy. Did you see that? I get asked all the time to make this for the relatives at relatives' houses and stuff when I'm out visiting, because I've been making this for years. We've got our main mix. We're gonna add a teaspoon of minced garlic. And then in here we have a half a teaspoon of dried cilantro, and we have a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So we're gonna mix that in. I'm gonna mix it all together. I think I have a bowl that's maybe a little bit too small. I probably needed something a little bit bigger to mix it in. We're gonna mix it together. I'll pour it back in this bowl. So, got it all together. You wanna mix it good. The cilantro I actually grew in the garden, and then I dried it, and you can dry cilantro in your oven. So if you wanna keep it for the winter. So anyway, we're gonna put that back in there like that. Then we're gonna make, you can't have salsa if you don't have guacamole. So what we're gonna do, we've got 1 large Hass avocado. We're gonna put it in our bowl, kind of smash it down. Got it all cut up. Okay, so this is super, super, super easy. You will like this. It's so easy to make. Once you have your base of your salsa, and what we're doing is we're working on fish tacos right now. So I needed to make some salsa and some guacamole up in order to put it with our fish tacos. So we've mashed up our Hass avocado with 1 large. Then we're gonna take Sandi's salsa, 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. All you have to do is mix that up like that. You can put it in another bowl, like if you're serving it, you want it to look a little bit nicer. All you do is you're gonna put it in your bowl, your nice serving bowl. Okay. like that. We're gonna taste our salsa. Mmm. It's really good. I love guacamole though. I'm gonna taste the guac. Mmm. Looks like clay. Looks like clay. That's clay sand reaching in there and grabbing some. What do you think, Clay?
Not too shabby.
So now we're at the stage where we are going to cook the fish. We're gonna put in some onions that we've already sauteed. We're gonna add a little bit of taco seasoning, and then we're gonna be ready to put them in the taco shells, and I add all the condiments and everything. So we've got a little bit of water in our pan. If you can see that, just a little bit of water. We're gonna take our fish and we're just gonna gently put it in. The fish is gonna break up a little while we're doing this. That's okay. We have half of a sauteed onion here. It's already been sauteed already. So now we're just gonna mix it all together like that. We're gonna take some taco seasoning, and this is kind of gonna be your choice as to how much you add. I like to kind of get a color in there, a little orange color. So then we're just gonna, I've got it kind of on medium high, and we're just gonna stir it up. Let it all get mixed together like that. It's naturally going to break up, so you don't need to worry about breaking up the fish while you're doing this. It's going to break up. These fish tacos, you can use pretty much any kind of fish. We're using rainbow trout, but you could use any kind of a whitefish, a halibut, you know, anything like that. Whatever you, I've had friends that have made them out of crappie, bluegill. So any kind of fish that you like, you can actually make these out of. But we're in Colorado, so we decided to make them out of rainbow trout. The fish is done. We're gonna put it into our tacos. So put a little bit of the meat in the bottom of the fish. We're making 3 tacos here. Gonna put that in. And then basically you just add whatever condiments you want. So I kind of like to do the cheese next so it melts a little bit. So we'll do that. Then we can add some lettuce. Like that. Some tomatoes on top. And some olives. And there you go. We have our fish tacos, and we are done with them. And all you have to do now is add some of Sandi's salsa and Sandi's guacamole right here, and you're set. I'm Sandi Roberts. Thank you for joining us in the KastKing Kitchen, Catch to Kitchen, and I will see you on the water.